Hey, my name is Matt Storr and I repair saxophones for a living. And I got asked a question on Facebook today about what plastic resonators I use, given that a lot of the resonators that are available that are plastic resonators have a little metal spud on the back, and those are the ones you see, I think, from Music Medic carries them, maybe Allied Supply, I'm not sure, but I used to use those, but the problem I had was the same as what this person was talking about, that the doming on them was much too high, and the way the little metal spud fit in the back didn't allow for enough pressure for it to squeeze into the pad, so it ended up sitting really proud. It wouldn't be like completely super well attached to the pad. So he asked what I use, and I realized I could just make a quick video and answer that question a lot better. So here is an original Selmer reusable resonator, right? And here is a resonator that is a heat stake resonator, meaning it's got a solid plastic back, and you install it by pressing down on this with a heat stake, and I'll show you how that gets done in a minute. And that's what attaches it to the pad. But the original Selmer resonator had a little metal screw, and that's how it was attached to the pad. And you can see here is a heat stake resonator. Here is a Selmer original resonator. And you can see they look pretty similar, and the doming is pretty darn close. The heat stake one is just a little bit thicker, but not nearly as thick or as tall as the other type of plastic resonators on the market. And they look pretty good once they're installed. And the heat staking allows you to install them in a way where they don't sit really proud on the pad. The metal spud version doesn't hold the resonator down on the pad super well, so it kind of ends up being like up high like that. But the screw-in style would obviously like crimp it and pull it down into the pad, and the heat stake version does that as well. And I'll go ahead and install one in a specific way that shows you how you can make this nice and tight. So you put your resonator in the pad like that. You heat up your heat staking tool. Now I've already heated this one because this mask takes a little while to heat up, and I didn't want to spend all the time in this video heating up the heat stake, so I'm just reheating it here. Okay, you use your heat stake, you press the pad down, you press down on the heat stake pretty hard, and then you turn it over and press it down really hard. And what that does against the bench block is that it cools it as you're pressing down, and it applies pressure. So you see how it's actually pulling down into the pad, and you get a really nice tight fit where it doesn't sit too high. It's pulled the skin nice and tight, and everything looks really good. So that is how I install plastic resonators. Those are the plastic resonators I use, and that's what it ends up looking like after you've put it in.